All right, folks, we're going to get started in just a few moments. I'm running a 60-second ad break where I will make a couple pennies, but more importantly, it means that folks that are coming into the stream for the first time, during the first 20 minutes of the stream, won't see any pre-roll ads, and that's nice. And yeah, we're going to hang out tonight on a Saturday. Lots of wrestling talk to chat about. Of course, some other things that coming up as well. And some video game chat and all that because I played a video game, and so we'll talk a little bit about that and some other stuff that comes up. I'm sure. We're gonna get started in just a few moments here with the old stream, so just get ready for it because it is coming your way in just a second. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, well, you can go ahead and lurk. I also want to give a shout out to Harold, H-Bomb, and Friends for dropping 25 bits in there just right before I came over here to start talking. So, of course, I got to hit the old cha-ching. Thank you very much, Harold. Lashbrook, welcome. Hello, everybody. It's a Saturday. It is the first stream of the month. It's September. I hope you're all doing well out there and you're enjoying your September. What is September? Well, it is a discount. Thanks to a company spending money, you can save money on subscribing. 25% off your 1 month subscription. 25% off a 3 month subscription. This is cash money. 30% off a 6 month subscription. So if you want to save over a long period of time, you could do that. And then starting on the 26th, gift subs will be 25% off. So if you get the sub to somebody in the community between now and the 26th of September, that's full price. But towards the end, the last couple days of the month, that'll be 25% off. It actually went into effect during my stream on Thursday, and I forgot to mention it, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned September. It's the best month to subscribe because it's cheaper. So if you're meaning to subscribe, now's the time to do it. Also, hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. We are working on the Lfrith Thorn high grade. It is the kit with the arms that seem a little too long. We will be completing this kit tonight, I have a feeling, because I have done one leg. We're working on the other leg. Then we got to do the waist and then the shield and the backpack, like the weapons. Should be a pretty quick build. There are some stickers. Maybe we won't actually finish it, but I think we will by the end of it. I know what kit we're building next because my $10 patrons voted, so I know what's on the agenda for the next stream, which is always nice to know. So yeah, working on all that, and excited to be able to talk to you about a bunch of things tonight. It's PAX West is happening right now. I of course am not there, as you can tell by the fact that I am here in South Carolina. I had no plans to go to West. Did not think that this would be the show that a lot of my friends decided to go to. After not going to PAX for many years, not just COVID related. Some of my friends just stopped going to PAXs by as far back as 2018 or 17. And this is the year that a lot of people were like, we're going. And that's great. COVID numbers are awful, but it's great that people are going. Lasper says GB tweeting through it has definitely made me a little jealous. Yeah. Danny O'Dwyer doing panels. I was like, oh, that's nice. That's neat and nice. There's a few other people that are out there. Of course, my condolences to the McElroys who powered through to do some talks and a panel discussion at PAX despite the loss of the fifth member of the McElroy family. Not really, but Jimmy Buffett will be missed by those that love him. And loved him. But yeah, they're big, unironically big Jimmy Buffett fans. Jimmy Buffett was a guest on the podcast of all things. But yeah, there's a lot happening in that PAX, and that seems neat. Of course, lots of people from Loading Ready Run are there, including a couple I've never met in person, so that would have been nice to go and hang out with them a little bit. But, I didn't go. Will I go to a PAX this year? I don't think I will. I don't think I'm going to Unplugged this year. I went the last 2 Unplugs. I don't think I'm going to go this year. Will I go to a PAX in the future? Yeah, I don't know when, but I'll go to another PAX. My life will work out in a way that will allow me to go there without having to do a ton of fundraising, because that's my main thing. I would not be opposed to doing here's a GoFundMe so I have more money to eat and get around and stuff. But I can't crowdfund for travel anymore. I just can't do it. I have to crowdfund for other things in my life. I can't do it for so I can go do panels at a convention. If it's hey, I need a little bit more this month, that's a thing. I hate that I do that. I hate how often I have been doing that in my life for the past several years. It fucking sucks. It's oh, I gotta go get a root canal. Let me figure out a fun stream to try to get the money for that. That sucks, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'll be doing it again at some point. It's just gonna happen. Anyway, instead of me feeling bad about that, let's work on this model kit, and let's not feel bad about another thing that happened. Let's feel fucking relieved. Y'all, it happened. I didn't think he had it in him. I didn't think he would listen to the knowledgeable people telling him that they had to do something about this shit. It fucking happened. CM Punk is no longer employed by AEW. Indeed. Defiant sale of Ed Lashberg. I hadn't even said CM Punk's name. I just said someone that something happens, and both of you immediately knew. It's so fucking funny. Obviously. Hey, just another spicy welcome. In the grand scheme of things, it's not funny, right? People today at the start of Collision, first off, before the show started in Chicago, Tony Khan went out there to address the crowd, and then he also had a prepared statement that he's talked about on the thing, and he mentioned being scared for his safety backstage, which is not an unfair thing to say. It is a true statement. Things were getting wild back there, and yeah, the dude brought in eyes, the dude brought in money for merch sales and ticket sales and all that, but at a certain point, it's just not worth it, and they hit that point. It's, like I said, I did not know if this was going to come to it. I honestly think that if CM Punk had gotten to a backstage disagreement, argument, violent exchange tomorrow night, the anniversary of the last one, it would almost be kind of funny, or boys will be boys. I think the fact that it happened at All In, the biggest AEW show, the big fucking thing, this thing that people have been sweating over. And when you add in, not only does this backstage altercation happen, but then also he says that he's quitting and he's not interested, which he wasn't, but he wasn't interested in going out and doing his match. The idea that CM Punk was thinking about taking his ball and going home a week ago, yeah, at a certain point, oh no, you're fucking with Tony's money now. It's not about the injuries. It's not about the outbursts. Oh, you're fucking with a rich man's money. You can't, you just can't do that. I am not here to praise Tony Khan for finally making the smart business decision after many moons of not making that business decision. More like CM fuck, am I right? I mean, look, here's the thing. When Punk came back, not this last time, when Punk joined AEW, that's fucking cool, man. That's a dude that went out unhappy with the business, with wrestling in general, that made one secret appearance somewhere, but otherwise swore off the business and was done with it. And it was kind of cool that asshole, because he was an asshole, always has been, was going to get some kind of shot. And he comes back and he's winning. Yeah, but he's wrestling cool people. He's wrestling cool young talent, putting them over in the sense that they're getting to work with CM Punk, and that's cool. And it felt like, all right, that's fun. He's cutting these like babyface promos, and you're like, all right, that's weird, but okay. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. And he's having a good time, and he's wrestling with the faces, and he's doing whatever, and then you're like, yeah, all right, yeah, it's CM Punk, okay. And it's like, oh, he's got one of the highest profile matches for Eddie Kingston. That's great. The MJF stuff was compelling. There was some personal stuff thrown in there, which was cool. And it's like, oh, yeah, all right. Like, it's not for me, but yeah, sure. All right. I got some nostalgia. I can give you some nostalgia here. I can give into some nostalgia. But then he wanted the title. Then he wanted to work and it's like, well, he's not going to lose. Like, he's going to beat Hangman Adam Page for the title. And I go farther than some people do when I say I don't like that so many people that got famous in the WWE that are in many ways like known for their time in WWE. I don't understand why those people should be AEW champion. I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, yeah, Jon Moxley fucking rules. Chris Jericho, sure. But it's a thing where you're just like, CM Punk, you're like, nah, man. You gotta have more of your homegrown shit winning. Like, you need more MJFs and Hangman Adam Pages. Like, you need that. And then Page's main event run was shit. He had a great match against Lance Archer, and then they put him in there with Adam Cole, who, even though Adam Cole was a heel, he's beloved, and people were happy to cheer him. And then Daniel Bryan was a fucking babyface. He fought Bryan, and it's just like, what are we doing here? Are there not heels in this company that you want to have lose clean to Hangman? And then it's like, then he got involved with Punk, and it's like, well, he's gonna fucking lose to Punk. That's obviously a mistake. But they put the belt on Punk, and he got hurt, and I was like, okay. And then Moxley gets that interim belt, and he defends it a bunch of places, and it fucking rules. But then Punk's back, and Punk, you got to decide this, and it's like, even with the twist where, oh, okay, he's got it, but like, actually on a random Dynamite, CM Punk lost to Jon Moxley. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's kind of cool. But like, the end result is still the end result, which is it's going to go back to Punk. Like, CM Punk should not have been the world champion. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't do anything. It just tells me that, like, oh, you think that, like, why are we pulling an Impact? Like, that's Impact shit, where the undercard has the best wrestling and the top of the card is old WWE cast-offs, some of whom have escaped the asylum and are thrilled about it. Others who are just there for a fucking paycheck, and it's clear they're just there for a paycheck. Why are we repeating the mistakes of TNA Impact? And it was a fucking bummer, and it's still a bummer. You know, it continues to be a bummer. But also CM Punk is a fucking bummer. And look, I do think that, Jack Perry stirred shit, poked the hornet's nest, right? Screamed outside of the Baer cave. Jack Perry does deserve some sort of at least suspension while investigation happens. Did he start a physical fight? No. Did he go off script in order to insult a man? Yes. Should that man that was insulted, should that man have had thicker skin and understood that was not the time or place to get physical and put your fucking hands on someone? Of fucking course. Like, it was obviously handled incredibly poorly. But, like, yeah, dude, you did a spot with glass. You didn't have to say anything. It would have been fine. Thicker skin, smarter thoughts in the process, of course, all that. But like, yeah, for my opinion, for where my money is, it's just like, yeah, it shouldn't have escalated to where it did, but it also didn't need to happen there. And yes, Lastbrook, you're correct. It was always going to be something, right? Like the strap match that isn't happening, CM Punk versus Ricky Starks in a strap match, right? That was most likely what was going to happen tomorrow. If that wasn't the main event, he would have been furious. Because why isn't he in the main event for the real world title? Because but maybe he wouldn't have been in the main event for the real world title because it's fucking made up. Maybe you want to put Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy in the main event, which they're doing, because that is clearly the main event. Because his title is made up. So it was always going to be something, right? It was always going to be some kind of terrible, obnoxious response to something. It was CM Punk is incapable of just being cool because he kept saying he wanted a drama-free workplace, and his solution to that was to make sure that people he didn't like weren't allowed in the building during shows where he had control over them. And that was never going to end well. That was never going to be a good time. Like, it was inevitable. Anyway, he was terminated with cause, and that with cause is lawyer speak. I remember when he was a villain in WWE Raw against John Cena. Good times. It's so fucking funny that Punk is been fired and ousted from the company the same day that John Cena is hosting a WWE premium live event, and in fact is also refereeing, probably at this moment just got done refereeing a match, special guest referee for a match. Like, it's so fucking funny that that's where Cena's at compared to where Punk's at. But anyway, he was terminated with cause, which is lawyer speak for, hey, you getting into a fight backstage means and then threatening your boss means you fucked up and we don't have to pay you shit. And also, you signed an NDA, so if you start shit and talk shit, we'll see you in court. Good job. Anyway, I want to know. Look, I don't care, but I do kind of want to know who is on the the disciplinary committee. Like, because they were all like, hey, the AEW discipline committee unanimously was like, hey, get out of here. Hey, we recommend he get out of here. It's very funny. It's good. And then, yeah, Tony Khan. Tony Khan was mixed of boos and cheers. Anecdotal statements from the crowd say that Chicago is not unified in its upsetness. Tomorrow might be a different story. But they don't seem to be. I don't think that the Chicago crowd is going to domineer and take over the whole show tomorrow night, but they might. Will the Bucks get booed? Yeah. Will Kenny Omega get booed? Maybe not. Maybe Kenny won't get booed, but the Young Bucks will get booed, and they'll be fine with it. They're teaming with FTR. It's very funny that they're teaming with FTR. I think they should 100% turn heel and shake hands with the Bang Bang Gang, the Bullet Club Gold. I think it would be incredibly funny if they turned their backs on FTR. That would be so fucking funny. But I don't think they'll do that. Anyway, it is fucking so funny. They built a show around that guy. Gave him everything he could want. But some people chose to not, like, just bend over backwards for him. Like, a few people were just like, get a load of this fucker. And then he got mad about that. He got so mad about that shit, which is very fun and funny. I don't think I put this together right. Okay. It was so fucking funny. Like banning Ryan Nemeth from being in the building. Not on Collision. Not even on Collision. Doing Ring of Honor tapings that happened before Collision. Because Ryan Nemeth tweeted some shit. And he was like, oh, do we have a problem? It's like, nah, man, I'm just getting heat. I'm getting heat on social media. Nah. What? No. Oh, and Christopher Daniels, the head of talent relations. Well, Christopher Daniels can't fucking be allowed on Collision because he's a young buck. He's the elite guy. And it's like, well, how the fuck is he supposed to do his job? What are you talking about? How's that work? All that shit was crybaby nonsense and very funny in hindsight. And it's over. And that's great. And what's next for CM Punk? Well, he'll wait out a portion of his contract before he can talk. And then he won't stop talking for a while. That's my assumption. Do I have the proof of that? No. Hey, Reigns. He'll talk some shit eventually. Post-merger. Not now. Post-official merger of UFC and WWE. When money starts opening up. And people who, there is a chance. This will be in many years. Not now. In many years, CM Punk will go back to WWE. It's very likely in my mind that he'll do that. And people say, oh, well, he hated it there. Yeah, but he likes money. So he'll go. And it's like, well, they hate him. Yeah, but they like money. Because the thing you got to remember is they welcomed back the Ultimate Warrior. Put him in the fucking Hall of Fame. Made an award in his name. Like, yeah. If they welcome back the guy that strong arms Vince McMahon into giving him more money just so that he would do a match, and then they got fired, and he was like a completely waste of time and energy for any wrestling. Like they fucking welcome him back. They'll welcome back CM Punk in like 10 years for a nostalgia tour. Hell yeah, they will. It'll be great. I feel like he will do commentary for some kind of bullshit, like low-level mixed martial arts. That's my guess. That's my guess for what's next for CM Punk is talking about some fights. Maybe he'll train to try to do another fight somewhere. He shouldn't, but maybe he will. I just watched Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan's WrestleMania match. God, I loved it. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I was never the biggest Ultimate Warrior fan. That just wasn't where my fandom was. Like, I just wasn't a Ultimate Warrior kid. But the formula worked. The music was fucking awesome. Him running to the ring, bright colors, like just gorilla press slamming people and just running the ropes weirdly and just going to town and taking out people and just being real aggressive the whole time and always jacked and amped. Really short matches, beating up the bad guys real fast. Like, yeah, I liked what the Ultimate Warrior was doing in the ring. Did I do these fucking... I might have done these feet wrong. Because I look at them. I'm going back. We're going back in time here to when I worked on these feet. Because I don't think I did these right. Unless this kit just has feet that don't clip in well to the legs. Which is possible. It's totally possible that I just did something wrong here. Like, it is possible. But we're going to look at them. disassemble this and like. Yeah, I might have this might be on wrong. Now that I look at it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I put these on wrong. It's supposed to go like that. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Yeah, I built these feet wrong. Oh yeah, that just snaps right out. This is yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I built the feet wrong. There we go. Oops, this one doesn't want to go on though. There we go. Yeah, I built the feet wrong. Now the feet are right. Great. Legs are done. Let's build the waist so that we can put this kit fully together. Yep, legs done now. Panel line this. Yep, panel lined it. Great. Oh yeah, the rockets. Oh, I forgot. The waist is where the rockets go. The butt rockets go. Anyway, wrestling, right? What we're going to do about it? Can't fix it. Tonight is WWE Payback, which I have not been watching. I did not watch it live. I will catch it, the replay probably during the day tomorrow and make a very long day of wrestling because there's, of course, All Out is tomorrow night. Very expensive week for wrestling, but I have Peacock, so I'll just watch WWE's Payback. Looks like right now we are halfway through the card at 9:30 because there's only 6 matches. Although I imagine at least a couple of these will be long. Yeah, it looks like Becky Lynch defeated Trish Stratus in a steel cage, and there was some bonus like her fighting some other stuff. And that reportedly was real good, which is nice to hear. Good on Becky. LA Knight defeated The Miz with John Cena as special guest referee. I believe there were some promos from all three. Yeah, John Cena cutting a little promo there. John Cena is the host of Payback. And Rey Mysterio defeated Austin Theory by pinfall, making him not a champion that immediately lost his belt, which is great. There were some people who believed that Austin Theory was going to get the win back, but I believe that Santos Escobar is going to get that belt. Will he turn heel? I don't know, but I feel like the play is Santos getting that belt, and that is what I'm hoping for as well. Is that is Santos picking up the win and getting the title. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are currently, most likely right now, taking on the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, in a Pittsburgh Steel City street fight for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Judgment Day is having a lot of back and forth, a lot of disagreements. You know, can they coexist? There's JD McDonough peering in there, trying to start some shit. He's not actually in the group, but he's been hanging out with Balor and talking in Balor's ear, and you know. If a belt changes hands tonight, that's the belts to change hands, the tag belts. Because, like, Kevin and Sami kind of don't need it. Like, them beating the Usos was that was important thing to happen, and, like, cool as hell that happened. But they don't, like, really need those belts now. And it's probably time for Kevin Owens to turn heel and work a program with Sami Zayn again. That's my guess. All that matters is Mommy, Finn, and Dom. Yes. So, like, Damian Priest is Senior Money in the Bank. I'm not saying that to be racist. That is what he wants to be referred to instead of Mr. Money in the Bank. He wants to be Senior Money in the Bank, which I will do. Say certainly. No problem. But I realize that it might be seeming me being an asshole by saying it like that. I could see the titles changing hands. I definitely could see that. I don't necessarily think, I don't mind that idea. Rhea Ripley's gonna win. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. I can see Raquel taking the belt off of Rhea in the future. I don't think it's right now. She just got back from injury. Raquel has been injured a couple times, and also Rhea is scheduled. Here's the thing, right? Both Rhea and Kevin and Sammy are scheduled for matches in India next week. I believe it's next week. Don't quote me on that, but coming up soon. I feel like Rhea versus Natalya is going to happen in India because that's a safe, easy match for them to book. I don't know if she's going to... She can't lose is my thoughts there. Now, does that mean that also Kevin and Sammy can't lose? I don't think so, because they can always turn it to Kevin and Sammy trying to win back the belts against the Judgment Day. Like, they can just make that match. They can just make it that, and people will be like, hell yeah, I'm in. And then Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That match is going to get so much time. It might have a dusty finish. Also, somewhere in the show, Cody Rhodes is the guest on, it might have already happened, I don't know, but there's a segment where he's the guest. So we might get a bonus match. He is, the Australian guy whose name I can't remember. Someone will remember. Anyway, he's a guest on a talk. The effect. Grayson Waller. There he goes. Grayson Waller is doing his talk show thing with Cody Rhodes. And I do wonder if that'll lead to a match that night, tonight, or whatever, or setting up a feud in the future. I don't know. But I do know that I don't think that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win here on Payback. It doesn't feel like that's a possibility. Now, would I want another run on top for Shinsuke fucking Nakamura? Of course. This evil Shinsuke right now, this version of Shinsuke, is fucking awesome. Just being like, watch your back, because he knows Seth's back is hurt. That's fucking beautiful and diabolical. And it's hilarious because, like, and they said in the storyline, I think that's so funny to be like, hey man, you just had to ask me for a match. You didn't have to like attack me out of nowhere. You could have just been like, hey, I want a title shot. And I love that when baby faces are like, why are you being a dick right now? You could have just been nice and it would have worked too. But it's like, nah, I got to get in your head and I got to threaten your kids. Your kid, I should say. And I got to like get in your face about this stuff. It's just like, why? Why do you have to be an asshole? But it's cool. I don't love heel Shinsuke Nakamura. I like babyface Shinsuke Nakamura more. But I do like main event Shinsuke Nakamura. That's good shit. A match got added tonight for All Out. Oh, I should say the two things about All Out. One, on Thursday, I did not talk about who Adam Cole and MJF were going to be facing for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships because even though it had been taped on Wednesday, Rampage hadn't aired till last night, so I couldn't tell you that it's the Dark Order. Alex Reynolds and John Silver, the fucking Dark Order on a goddamn pay-per-view in a non-battle royale. The Dark Order are in a pay-per-view that's not a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Lashbrook knew, yes, but I didn't want to say it because it hadn't happened on TV. The Dark Order are not on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. They're not in a battle royale. They're not in some kind of schmoz. They're in a tag match for belts. And I think they're going to win. That's my Joker decision right there. That's my wild, let the world burn decision. Evil Uno, they're fucking heels on Ring of Honor. Evil Uno should help cheat. Reynolds and Silver should do their fucking combo finisher to Adam Cole. There should be a moment where Adam Cole and MJF have a problem, and Adam Cole should walk away. That's the better option. Hey, Lord Crash said, Adam Cole should walk away from MJF, disgusted by him, and MJF should get fucking pinned by John Silver. That won't happen, but it fucking should, because it would be cool as hell. And in fact, they're going to do the double clothesline on Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to take the pin, and it's going to suck shit. But whatever. It's still going to be good storytelling. I just want my boys to have some gold. I want gold for my boys on the show I don't watch, Ring of Honor. That Sami Nakamura match in NXT is still one of the best matches I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn like worked really well in the same weird crew when they were heels together, and also really well against each other. Very good. Let's body complete this kit. Let's get this shit put together, and then we'll get some weapons put together on this thing. But yeah, so Dark Order versus Better Than You, Baby, is the match. Also added this fucking 10-card match, everybody. Spoilers for something that happened on Collision, but it happened on Collision tonight. Ricky Starks challenged Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to a strap match tomorrow at All In. And apparently plans were that it was going to be CM Punk was going to step in, and it was going to be the rubber match for Ricky and CM Punk. But tonight what happened is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat apparently signed the Dragon. And he said, I only said the Dragon was doing it. And it's Brian Dragon came out. Brian, the American Dragon, Danielson. Yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat showed up randomly a couple weeks ago. Ricky was just like there, and he was the special enforcer, like the special outside referee, because Ricky Starks had cheated the first time he fought CM Punk. So when he fought CM Punk the second time, they get brought in Steamboat to watch CM Punk, basically to make sure it was fair, and he got involved. And then Ricky Starks took out his frustrations on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And then Ricky the Dragon Steamboat showed up tonight and was like, I wrote down the Dragon. I didn't say anything about me doing it. And that is because fucking the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, who broke his fucking arm, is back and in a strap match. And I do actually wonder if he is cleared to wrestle or if he's just cleared to be in the ring. And if hired gun Big Bill is going to beat him up or something. Like, I don't know if we're getting a full match. We should get a full match, but I don't know if we are. And this kit needs a torso. Why did they design this kit like this? Why is this kit such a stubby lad? Why did they do this? This kit, every time I work on it, I'm like, why is this kit not transform into a flight mode? Why is this kit like this? Why is it got no stomach? Why arms so long? Arms past knees with long thighs. Thighs are very long, and the hands still go past knees. What? It looks like I fucked up. Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like I fucked this up? So, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had what he said was his last match last year, I believe, in a 6-man with FTR, and it was cool. And people were like, okay. And he could break that and have another last match, but I don't know. I do think he's going to show up and he's going to hit Ricky Starks tomorrow with a strap or his belt, because Ricky hit Ricky with Ricky's belt, like physical belt, not wrestling belt. So I could see him being like, I'm gonna get a modicum of revenge on you. Yeah, I don't want him to do much of anything. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, as soon as he got hurt, he retired very early and very young. And then he came back for a Legends match where a bunch of legends fought Chris Jericho in the WWE. And then he came out, and when it was his turn to wrestle, he could move very well because he had taken care of himself. And he retired. He didn't push through the pain for years and years and years, busting up his fucking body, working for smaller and smaller crowds on the indie scene. He retired, and he stayed retired for a very long time. So that when he returned, he was in great fucking shape, and people were like, holy shit, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat can still go. And that was years ago when that happened by now. So, you know, I don't want him to do anything at all. You know, I just want him to be there. I think it'll be cool. Anyway, the rest of the card is going to be great. They announced on, speaking of things they announced on Rampage, the main event is Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. And, like, y'all know me. Y'all know how much I love Orange Cassidy. And I've talked about this before on stream. But, like, that's a dude I know. Like, I know that dude. I have hung out with that dude. He and his then tag team partner, under masks, were the tag team champions for the comedy show about wrestling that I ran at Upright Citizens Brigade. Like, it's wild to think about a dude that I hung out with in a basement underneath a grocery store in Chelsea, New York. Oh, sorry. Okay. That's fine. That email is fine. That dude is now main eventing an AEW pay-per-view. It's wild. Ironhide the Fourth comes in. Welcome, Ironhide the Fourth, saying a thief has stolen all the toilets from the police station. The police they have nothing to go on. Nice. Hell yeah. But yeah, Orange Cassidy, a dude that I have hung out with, that I have written comedy bits for, under a mask, of course. But also Orange Cassidy out without the mask also wrestled. He also wrestled for our comedy league as Orange Cassidy. Like, that dude is main eventing a fucking wrestling pay-per-view in 2023, and it's wild to think about that as being a thing. I'm so fucking proud of him. It's so cool and weird. I should also say that Sazzy Boatwright competed for Effie's Big Gay Brunch 7 today. And congratulations to you, Sazzy. You wrestled under the name Baer Girls, which is a Bear Grylls knockoff parody. And now you continue to fucking wrestle. And it's beautiful and gorgeous, Sazzy, that you had a East Coast versus Midwest match, like a big, like multi-person match with a bunch of goofing around on such a huge stage. Like, it's like Veda Scott talking about how great you are. It's so wild and wonderful to see that. See people I know. Eddie Kingston's going to tag with Shibata. That rules. Eddie Kingston's tagging with Shibata. And it's like, what? Like, that shouldn't exist because he shouldn't be wrestling. Shibata shouldn't have been able to make a comeback. Eddie Kingston shouldn't be on a pay-per-view for a major wrestling promotion. Like, that shouldn't be real. This tag team should not be happening by all accounts, and it is, and that's fucking rad. So goddamn cool. Lesper says, I do wish I could see that and Mox versus OC. Yeah, so I chip in on pay-per-views with a few other people, right? And that is the reason why I'm watching the show tomorrow. Because if it was just me, well, first off, if it was just me, I would magically travel to a country where fight is cheaper than it is in the United States. I would magically transport myself to a country where that wasn't that. But since it's a bunch of people, I just pay for Bleacher Report and all that. But even then, I would not be spending all that money 2 weekends in a row to watch it. It's only because I'm watching with friends that makes any sense. So I'm, doing that. And that'll be cool. This is such a big nonsense hand here. Oh, yeah, wait. Does this work? How does this work? Like this? Yeah. This thing has a option here where I can take a beam saber like this. Yeah. Does that fit right? Yes. Check that shit out. It's got an underarm beam saber. Yes, Lord Crashington. We talked about it at the top of the stream. I don't want to relitigate all of that, but we talked about it a bunch at the beginning of the stream. Available in the VOD. But yeah, we chatted a lot about that. And good riddance. Fuck off. Goodbye to the punker. You will not be missed. All we have left to build on this kit is the like weird backpack extension thing and the shield, which we'll start the shield here. Does he just retire for a while until the heat dies down? Lord Crashington, we also talked about that. I'll just say very briefly, he will not do anything for a while, and then he will, in years, show up in WWE because they'll have completely different people in charge of it because of the merger and all that, and they'll be happy to have him and he'll go back because it will be money and guaranteed money, and he'll be happy with that. In the short term, we actually haven't talked about that. Who has money for him? Impact? Impact does not have money for him. Impact does not have money for anyone. It's not Impact. WWE, not in the short term. Fuck no, not going to happen. Paul Levesque is the guy that he hates the most. Paul also doesn't like him. Paul wants to make money. CM Punk wants to have a say. No. Okay, well, what about New Japan? Well, on the one hand, New Japan does like bringing in foreign talent that's well known. On the other hand, they have a very strong working relationship with AEW, and that would probably be a problem. But you know who doesn't really have that strong a relationship with AEW? Like a few of the wrestlers wrestle there, but not that many. Only occasionally. Cyberfight. Cyberfight has a lot of fucking money. You may know Cyberfight better as DDT and Pro Wrestling Noah and Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling and Gambare. Pro Wrestling Noah already has very old dudes who wrestle, young guys who put those old dudes over. Pro Wrestling Noah has the money and the interest to book CM Punk. And if he wanted to do a Japan tour, because he would be able to pick anything. He would be able to pick who he wanted to go over, who he wanted to tag with. They would bend over backwards for CM Punk so they could sell a few more. Like they would sell like their own pay-per-views outside of the normal subscription service. They would do it. They have money. Do they have enough money for CM Punk? We don't know. Would he think it's a step down to do Noah over New Japan Pro Wrestling? Yeah, he would. CM Punk would be bummed that it wasn't New Japan. New Japan most likely wouldn't put up with his shit for more than like a one-off appearance. Like him showing up at a strong show in the United States, like that is a possibility. He won't because they're so in tight with AEW, and now AEW has betrayed CM Punk. So he wouldn't want that. But I could see him showing up Pro Wrestling Noah. If he shows up anywhere, that's my bet. Like, he's not showing up at CZW or GCW. Like, nobody's got fucking Punk money. No one's going to pay to see him do shit or to have him do stuff. Like, no one's going to pay the money he's going to want. Is Rey Mysterio a Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot now? Probably in the context of the WWE's deal with Cinnamon Toast Crunch being a sponsor, probably only in the respect of for a premium live event. Outside of a premium live event, no, he is not. Inside of a premium live event, I mean, that's also kind of the New Day's territory, but, you know, only one of the three is cleared to wrestle right now, so it's not as fun to do that. Also, there's Dragon Con, so even if he wasn't injured, Xavier Woods wouldn't be around for this event because he gets that weekend off so he can do Dragon Con. Austin's where yes, Austin Creed, Xavier Woods is doing a Willy Wonka cosplay in his group cosplay. That is his want. That is that was his desire for the show. And it's cool and good for him. Hope he's having a great time. This kit is like so stubby and weird and has like big guns and weapons, and it's like such a fucking wild, great kit. Suzuki has that DDT Bullet Train match coming up this month. Yes. Cyber Fight has been doing some good, wild, weird summer bullshit. You had the DDT show where during a craft fair they did a match. It was booked. It wasn't a surprise thing. Also, we had in Osaka, I talked about Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling doing their summer show there where they had... It was a covered space, but it felt like an outdoor space. It was all concrete and glass and weird as hell. It was really fun. Just some good shit. But yeah, and then of course we have the Bullet Train match coming up, which will be just fucking bonkers. Good on them. I love their dumb bullshit. There's a tomorrow, well, tonight, whatever. Let me actually look to see when it says it is. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling does have a match, or does have a show coming up. Let's see, when is it? It is, yeah. So it is starting at like 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time tonight. I will not be watching that tomorrow. Normally I watch the week's show with some friends, but because of wrestling for AEW, we won't watch tomorrow, but we're going to watch it the following week. There's a good size show happening there, so I'm excited about that. Let me just refresh this page here. So I am excited for that, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to see that until my crew and I all watch it next week, which is fine, because I don't think they have a show next week. So I won't be missing anything. But that is my standard Sunday appointment is Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. They didn't have a show last week. Well, they did, but it was not streamed live, so we didn't watch it till Wednesday. Whatever, it was fine because it was the Osaka show. But my standing appointment is to watch Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling matches because I really like that company. They are a wonderful combination of silly and sublime. They just get it. They know what they're doing. There are fantastic wrestlers in that promotion and silly wrestlers, and it's just a good fucking time. Always up for some Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Great themes, great character work. All right, so this is 18, goes in like this. So we got to put a lot of color correcting stickers on here. Like a good portion of our stickers, all our stickers that are left are all for this thing. So we got to really get these on looking good here. Put those on. We'll take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel and go through all of that. What number is this? Oof. My eyes do not like these tiny numbers here. 16. Ah, that makes sense. It's these numbers here. And I think I got to do it on start. Yes. So I got to do these on both sides, which makes sense. These are not difficult stickers to put on. Just got to line them up and put them down. But yeah. I was surprised to see the Mega Man mobile game that was ported to PC without the microtransaction stuff is launching at $30. Well, they got to make money somehow, Lord Crashington. They took out all the microtransactions, and what are they left with? Nothing. They gotta get your money. They gotta do something. They're not gonna get a couple dollars all the way up to much more than $30 out of you, out of a couple goddamn whales. They gotta do what they gotta do. They gotta try to get some monies. They need that monies. They gots to get theirs by any means necessary. And if they can't get theirs, then move on. Anyway, we'll talk about some video game stuff in the second hour. Some games and stuff. We got some anime to talk about. For a game they otherwise shutting down on mobile. Yeah, it was a failure. This is to make as much $30 as they can because people were not down for it. They were not up or down for it. So they're like, oh well, back to the old drawing board. And by that I mean put out a version of it that doesn't have microtransactions and just cost a flat rate and see how much money we can get for it. Because even if we put it on sale for $15, people will also think that's a deal for some reason, and we'll get some amount of money for it. I'm being a little cynical. No. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to deal with that in the future. I had an email, and that is a future Pat problem, not a current Pat problem. All right, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you, people watching this, about ways that you can support the channel if you are so inclined. Everything I'm about to talk about is optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to do it, you're more than welcome to, and I would love that. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you get that token. Also, I must mention, I need to mention, it's September, y'all. So if you're thinking about becoming a subscriber, you could save money. You get 25% off your 1 month sub, 25% off a 3 month sub, or 30% off a 6 month sub. If you're just like, want to save it, you got some cash on you, you want to save a bunch of money, and you think you're just subscribing for me for several months, you could do that. And then gift subs will be 25% off starting the 26th, so not now. If you want to gift a sub and join the gift sub leaderboard, be at the top, the very pinnacle of the gift sub leaderboard, you could do that. If you wanted to. Gift a sub to somebody in the community, do it anonymously. John just subscribed in Prime saying, I think I subbed correctly for 23 months. That's so many months. Thank you so much, John. Appreciate you very much for that. That's almost 2 years. Thank you for using your Prime Gaming token. Appreciate that. We'll also throw the Bear Cave, Lego, Scythe, and Tier 2 blue emote in the chat to say thank you for that. I missed an emote. There we go. Dirty's here as well. Hello, Dirty. You can also cheer. Harold is the top of the cheer leaderboard. If you want to be a cheerleader like Harold, you can do that. Thank you, H-Bomb and friends, for that. Those are all the ways to support me here on Twitch, but there are other ways to support what I do here. You could, of course, hang out over on my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Join my Patreon. It would be neato. You could also go over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Subscribing to my YouTube is, of course, free. But if you wanted to become a member, you could. And for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. And my next Wednesday video should be pretty good. I wrote it today, and I think you'll like it. I'm going to shoot it probably Monday night. Yeah, probably Monday night I'll shoot it. But I think you'll like it. You could also do, like, those are monthly ways to support me, and I understand that's not for everybody, but there's like a one-time donation. If you just like want to throw me a couple bucks so that I can do some cool shit, you could do that through Coffee and PayPal and Stream Elements. Everything I make through direct donations like that, YouTube, Patreon, and Twitch all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that fund. The Thorn that I just purchased here, I bought this. This was on my Amazon wish list. I saw it was on sale. I was like, I have the funds to buy that. And I bought it. The next kit that I'll be building, I bought last year, the year before. It's been in my backlog for a fucking while, the AUG. And finally, I'm building the AUG. That's the next thing I'm going to be building. Now, I know what I'm building next, but you have the power financially to decide what I build in the future. Because if you wanted to, you could buy something from my Amazon wish list and it'll arrive in the mail and it'll be the next thing that I build. I will make sure that the next thing that I put together is something that you bought for me. I'll make a dedicated video for YouTube. And yeah, it's the least I could do is have it jump the queue. There are Lego sets here on this wish list. Model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I've got 2 different kinds of knockoff Lego. I've got Mold King, which we did the A86 before. I've got the RX-7 and a kit that is clearly the Batmobile, but they don't fucking call it the Batmobile. They call it the Model Car Bat Sports Car. And it also, Building Boat has this fucking Back to the Future DeLorean where the box says Return to Future on it. They didn't even put Back to the Future on it because they clearly don't have the license to any of this. It's also knockoff Lego. It is also for sale. They also sell the BTTF Skyline, which is clearly Back to the Future 3. So we're getting into some fucking real bootleg-ass bootleg bullshit that is now on my wish list. Return to Future. It's not even Return to the Future. It's Return to Future is what it says on the box. Now, do I even know if I'm going to get Return to Future DeLorean building car? Like, is it going to be that box? I don't know. It's $20, and I kind of really want to know. I might buy it the next time I make a purchase when my Patreon money goes through and ends up in my account because it takes a couple days to process and there's a holiday Monday. I might fucking just buy it. But you could buy it now and I'll buy something else. Model kits, Lego sets, there's some gear, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, stuff I don't think anyone's ever going to pay for, stuff that would be cool if you did, all kinds of things. Just like fun, good shit that I would like to put together on stream. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff on there. It does say DeLorean. It DeLorean building kit because I do not believe that DeLorean is a registered trademark anymore because the DeLorean company doesn't exist anymore. So I think you can call things a DeLorean without it being a problem. I'm pretty sure. No, I think I could call this stream the DeLorean stream and it'll be fine. I don't think that's a registered trademark anymore. It's probably held by a holding company and they don't care. Oh, it does. They're making cars again. Okay. Well, they're making more cars. So maybe they would get in trouble by the fine folks at DeLorean. I don't know. Anyway, at some point I'd like to build that is all I'm fucking saying. It's on my wish list. You could make that happen. My alternatives to that is I have a Throne wish list. You could buy something there. Throne is a small company doing this stuff, and they really protect the identities and the locations and all that personal information of the people who are running their wish list. It's very cool. I like Throne a lot. Gotta build it before they're sued. Indeed. Amazon has so much fucking garbage and bullshit on it. I think they'll be okay. And then, of course, you could always go and do the fucking really roundabout thing. Go to USA Gundam Store. Buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They will give you a gift card code in your email. You then DM me on Twitter or whisper me here on Twitch with that gift card code. I am now checking. There are no new DMs. I have not looked in a while. I usually don't look most of the time for DMs. I just check when I'm saying it out here. So I only see it like 3 times a week when I'm model kit building. Anyway, those are all the ways to support me financially. For free, you just join my Discord if you wanted. My Discord's nice. It's like full of good people. You're welcome to join up there. It'd be nice. I got a couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I put up a new episode this week. This episode is my review of the first 5 episodes of The Fire Hunter, an anime that I skipped over from this year that some people said, hey, you should watch this. So when I was doing like, hey, what are shows you feel like got slept on this year? Some people said, Fire Hunter, and I hadn't watched it. And so I watched the first 5 episodes and gave my review. It's one of the most focused videos I've ever done in the anime thing. It's very, very focused. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing series where every week I write a comedy piece, which I rehearse and promise that I have at least barely rehearsed it. And I'm probably off book, hopefully off book. And this one's a short one. I had a dumb pun in my head that I had to make into a comedy bit because it lived in my head and I needed it out of my head. So I said it, and now I can forget it. Boop. I don't ever have to do it again. Anyway, I am going to drink some water. I am not taking medication tonight because I have switched the times around about when I take those. Thank you very much. We're trying something. Me and the doc had a conference yesterday. We're trying some stuff out by not changing the dosage, but changing the times. We're going to see what happens. So we'll do that, but I will drink some water, and we're going to dramatically transition to the overhead so that I can talk about anime and then video games and continue and finish this fucking kit. And we're going to do that right now. I need to stream at 10, Doc. No, I mean, it has nothing to do with that. Lord Crashing wants the dance button. I will hit the dance button. It's a new month, and we got a new dance song. Some bass comes in, and then... very good bass line. Just a very fucking good bass line. Just real good. That song takes a second to get into it, but then it fucking goes, and I appreciate it. Thank you for using your channel points for something like that. Yeah, no, Lord Crashing, it really comes down to, like, my sleep situation has gotten really wonky, and in discussing things with my doctor, kind of made the decision, hey, maybe it's the times that I'm taking this, because, like, we're figuring stuff out. Just trying to figure stuff out. And it was like, okay, well, we'll try change, because I was like, is the, like, this happened because of this, I believe, and yada, 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 and I'm not getting into details on here, but yeah, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to see if changing up the times helps, and if it doesn't, then we can change up the dosage, or we can do an alternative. I would like to continue to take the medication that I'm taking and not change anything up for one simple reason. It costs me a lot of money, and I don't want to have to. I don't want to change things up. But also, it's working. So that's the other thing. It's like good, so I don't want to try something else that also is going to be prohibitively expensive. So just trying to fucking figure it out. It's a journey. I don't know. Wellness. What are you gonna fucking do? I mean, you do your best. Thank you, John. I like that song too. I think it's very fun. Okay, so the Great Cleric. There was a couple weeks off, and then on Wednesday there were 2 new episodes, and then also I think then a 3rd episode came out. I believe that they are no longer behind, but. So next week I might do 2 episodes. I don't know. Maybe I'll be a week behind. I'll be a week behind. Anyway, I watched the second of, I think, 3 episodes that I had been behind on due to whatever. They were just late. So again, another episode of The Great Cleric. If you've not been watching the series, The Great Cleric is about a dude that died and got reincarnated into a fantasy world. And he is a priest. He's a healer, I should say. He's not a priest. He's a healer. He takes a mysterious potion called Substance X, which tastes bad and smells bad. But it should. It was created by the great sage, and it does help your ability to grow your strength. So our dude, who had been trained for a long time, never got past level 1. Some shenanigans happened, and he got a promotion. But that promotion was mostly to get him out of the city he was living in. He is now tasked with a fucking weird job. Our dude is now hanging out at the basement of the head of the Holy Guild, the Healer Guild, and he has been tasked with an important mission. Our dude, Lucille, has to go through the basement and defeat the undead because the basement turned into a labyrinth. And there's a bunch of shit going on in there, and he's got to take care of business. Okay, so we have an idea here. We can do. We're going to do one of these two stickers. We're either going to do sticker 11 or 12. Sticker 11 is black. Sticker 12 is red. We're going to do red because I think that's just more vibrant and fun. So we'll do that sticker. I do like when we get options because that means there's one less sticker that I have to put on that it came with. So we'll do sticker 11. That looks good. Okay. Just pop that down there. Yeah. Looking good. All right, so we put that sticker on. Now we'll connect this thing together. So our dude has this job. He finished his first day and he noticed, hey, my level didn't go up. Like, he's never defeated any monsters. These monsters, these zombies and these undead ghouls and some will-o-wisps, he can use holy magic to dispel them. He can also, if he wants, use some holy silver weapons that he can magically buff with some purifying spells, and that'll help take care of business. So good for him. He's kind of figuring stuff out as he goes. But his level didn't go up. And that's when he's like, weird, my level didn't go up. Well, there's only one good explanation for that, apparently. He thinks that this is all an illusion, that this is illusion magic that has made this labyrinth. And this labyrinth isn't real, and it's just like a training ground. Because he's defeating monsters, but his level doesn't go up, and that doesn't make any sense. So the only logical explanation would be that, like, there's some magic, like that it's a training ground thing. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me. It really feels like that is a reach that this dude is doing, where he's just like, yeah. I mean, I guess, like, it must just be training. It doesn't feel right. It feels like there's some other reason why he's not leveling up, because it does feel like the danger is real. And everyone else fucking acts like the danger is real. It is a leap of logic that is necessary for the plot, but I think is not good, because it just kind of feels cheap that he just decides in his head that this is not a real thing. Anyway, he visits the church shop where when he defeats monsters. Okay, here's part of the reason why maybe he thinks this is all like a training simulation and an illusion. When he defeats monsters, the card that he's carrying, he gets points for defeating those monsters, and then also for turning in goods. He gets points. So I can understand why he would think this is a video game, because I'm getting points for things. And then there is Cecilia, who is the head of the shop, and she's definitely a no-nonsense person. He gets a sense that she's like definitely pretty strong, and most likely like something's going on here, where like she's got some weight behind her words. He's not quite sure what her deal is, but anyway, he buys he buys some weapons on discount, because generally the people that have his job, the exorcists that work there, they don't use weapons, so they just have a bunch of weapons laying around. So he gets a good price on those weapons. And he goes back in, and his level is not increasing, and the number of monsters is increasing the more levels he goes down, and also it's starting to be a little more difficult But, he's figuring it out. He's doing his thing. All right, I need sticker 14. Is this tiny little sticker? Fuck you. Why is this sticker so tiny? And then he's running into traps. And then our guy finds a boss room. He finds a boss room on level 10. And he goes in there. He thinks he's well prepared. He's not well prepared. Because that room is full of a bunch of bad-looking CGI zombies. That's right. This show that is clearly low budget. They do not have a lot of money. They have taken so many shortcuts to some of this stuff. Clearly do not have the funds to do this well. This goddamn show finally got a bunch of CGI-looking monsters that do not look good or do not look good at all. Wait, that's number 21. That's number 20. Is this? Anyway, these monsters are here, and he goes to purify them and use magic, but he can't use magic. Something's fucked up is happening. Magic isn't working in the room. So, luckily, he can't cast magic on the monsters, but he can cast magic on his weapons. So he uses weapons, including a bow and arrow that he got, to defeat these monsters. And then he's like, whew, I did it. But then a Rite shows up. And a Rite is like a little bit lower level of a lich. It's not a full lich, but it's close to it. This Rite is wearing like ceremonial garbs, and magic doesn't work on it. No idea why, but magic doesn't work on it. And it also knows magic because it has a staff. So our dude is feeling kind of like he's in danger, because he fucking is. But he manages to overpower it and outsmart it, and then defeat the Rite, and the Rite drops a necklace and a cloak and a scepter. And so our guy brings those back, and he's like, hey, I defeated a boss. I was in the boss room. And they're like, what are you talking about? Because also, it's very clear that our guy has gotten farther than anyone has ever had in the Labyrinth. Like, he's doing, like, 11 days in, I think it is. He's doing real well. Anyway, he shows the items, and apparently that's really important. Because now it's time to go see the fucking Pope. The Pope is also at Saint's headquarters. And she is behind a veil. And she sounds and kind of like her outline looks young. So I'm thinking, oh, this is probably not a humanoid. But yeah, she's there doing her thing. And she's like, okay, well, who's this guy? And holy shit. It's clear that these garments belonged to someone who disappeared 12 years ago. And by disappeared, I think they mean that dude was there doing the job of trying to get rid of these monsters, and he died, and then he became a monster under there. Or back when it was still just a cemetery, his body was laid to rest there, and then his soul became a wandering monster. That's the other hypothesis I have. But anyway, I'm starting to really think, and obviously I know, but it really, the show is painting a picture that shit is all real, and our guy who thinks that might be fake, who thinks it's all fake, is wrong. And it's very real and dangerous. And that's this episode of The Great Cleric. There was some good action in this. We introduced to some new characters who were fun. It's kind of still very slow-paced. He has to be more of an idiot than he was previously for the story to make any sense. And that's a bummer when characters have to be suddenly very dumb. Like, he's a masochist, and that's like part of his character trait. And I think that's fine. But now he's also a dumbass. Because the story doesn't work if he doesn't believe. If he has a sense of danger and he doesn't want to do the job, then the story doesn't progress, which is a problem. Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence, very cute episode of this one. Also sad. This episode a little more sad. And the last one, they went to the major city and they met Lizoletta's brother, Giselbert, who was hitting on Cecilia and being a jerk about it. Apparently, that's like his deal, and he doesn't really suck, but he kind of sucks. Um, and then also, Giselbert is like, oh, wait, this is the Saint, huh? But you guys get along well? That's nice, because that's very important to him. And we're going to find out more about that later. Lawrence asks Giselbert to keep Cecilia's status a secret. And then they go to the mansion, because he's in charge of the family there. And they live in a mansion, because of course. And Giselbert wants to know how Hazeletta is doing, and so that, he's looking out for his sister, and it's like, oh, okay, that's probably good. Lawrence buys Cecilia a necklace, and that's very cute and nice, and they have lunch, but Lawrence is having some issues with his head, and he's not feeling well. And the last time he wasn't feeling well, it's because of Cecilia was casting protective magic on him and kind of overwhelming him, because he's sensitive to that magic. And she's like, I haven't done any more than normal, but when she relents, it helps. Because they walked by a garden, and that garden has other saintly powers in it, apparently. So it just kind of increased Cecilia's power. So, not good. Her divine protection kind of messed her up. And that apparently is... that area, that garden, was the favorite spot of a saint who has passed away. We've heard about a saint before that died. We actually saw that saint a little bit in some flashbacks. Yeah, this is Frederica, who was a saint that would travel, and she would, she would come to the city and heal all the people and all that. This is the saint that we've heard about who... not just these people, but also Lawrence has felt bad for because she was, or Lawrence's grandfather felt bad for because she was this situation where they kind of treated her as a larger-than-life godly figure, and that was at the, unfortunately because of that, they weren't spending a lot of time worrying about her physical form. And she became sick and passed away. And apparently, on a couple occasions, our dude, Giselbert, tried to, remove her from the city, run away with her to protect her. And she wouldn't do it because of her faith and her ability, or wanting to help people. So he holds a lot of guilt for that. But also, when they fucking go to that place... and go to her grave, Cecilia ends up receiving a message, because of being a saint and saintly powers and all that. And she tells him that Frederica would want him and Hazeletta to live and to move on, which is rough. This is a very heavy episode. A lot's happening there. This is generally a pretty light series about this goofy couple that like each other, but no one will make the move, and it's a will they won't they situation, and it's pretty fucking cute. But occasionally it's just oh yeah, shit can be real and sad and real sad, and here's an example. So this was a bit of a harder watch of an episode, but still really good. And also last week it was oh, fuck this dude. This dude's hitting on and being a creep. But this week he's all right, well, he was just acting like a creep, and he's not a creep. But still, fucking be cool, dude. What are we doing here? All right, let's get this thing together here. We're almost done with this kit. We're almost ready to wrap this kit up. All right, so Undead Murder Farce. A bunch of fucking shit happens in the last arc, right? if you missed it, Undead Murder Farce is about it's mini mysteries, like mysteries getting solved by an immortal woman whose body is missing and her head is just there. She's just a head in a birdcage. And her assistant, a guy who is part demon, or Oni, and will eventually be full Oni and will lose all of his mind and his ability to have cognizant thought and reason. They're solving mysteries to become more famous so that they can continue to solve other mysteries so they can track down the mysterious man that took Aya's body and Suguru's and turned Suguru into a demon, awoke his demon blood, which he did not need to have awoken. And in the last arc, they, along with Sherlock Holmes and Watson, teamed up to defeat Lupin and Eric, the Phantom of the Opera, from stealing a diamond, which we've learned at the end of the episode. The diamond is the secret needed to find the last remaining werewolves. And then Moriarty, because of course it was fucking Moriarty. Moriarty shows up with a ageless vampire who is from the first novella about vampires that predates Dracula, because Dracula in this world is dead. Jack the Ripper, who is a chimera of a bunch of different DNA. Frankenstein, the monster, based on Frankenstein's notes, so named after the doctor. And, oh God, what's the fourth one? Aleister Crowley, a real fucking person who was an occultist. And in this world, it is definitely fucking noted he does not know magic. There are vampires and werewolves and a Frankenstein monster and a guy who has a bunch of, like, a chimera man. Jack the Ripper is also Jack the Ripper is the chimera man. But don't worry, because in this fiction, the Aleister Crowley does not know magic. He knows sleight of hand and uses hidden weapons to appear to use magic. Very funny. Anyway, that all happened. Suguru managed to get the diamond that people were trying to steal. Everything worked out okay. We did not get, we got a confrontation, but, like, they're going to need more help if they're going to try to take out, Moriarty. Anyway, they're going to try to track down these werewolves. That's the next case. And actually, episode 9 starts in the past, 8 years prior, where a werewolf and her daughter are taking shelter from an angry mob. And this shit is cliche. This is cliche, right? People being othered and chased down and mob mentality and prejudice. It's very heavy-handed. It's good action, but it's very fucking heavy-handed where they're just trying to live. They're just trying to live in society. And, when weirdos get found out, they get persecuted. And it's like, oh, all right, anime. Okay. And then in the present, a werewolf has allegedly been kidnapping and killing young women. And the most recent is Louise, who is a girl who is bound to a wheelchair. And a bunch of girls have been found with bite marks on their neck, meaning they think it's a single person. And the town doctor even went so far as to say, these girls disappear on rainy nights in the investigation. But that's how Heidemann says that. It didn't rain when Louise appeared. And there's a lot of other inconsistencies in the story. Excuse me. Like, the town doctor who saw all these bodies can't confirm that the bodies of these girls are the same girls that disappeared. Like, does not have the ability to tell anyone that. Like, that's weird as hell. What are we doing here? Like, there's a bunch of weird inconsistencies here in the story. Because also, eventually this guy Gustav, who is Luis's father, is like, I'll say this. So the doctor and this other guy, the father, Gustav of Luis, they're in the flashback. They're in the mob when they killed that werewolf and her child. And her child, by the way, was in human form. I neglected to say that. That feels like it'll be important. That, they assumed that was this werewolf's daughter. That daughter was also going to be a werewolf. So they killed a mother and child. Anyway, he was definitely there. And he mentioned something about this weird vision he had at one point. He has a weird vision where a girl had ears growing out of her head. And so it's like, well, maybe Luis is the werewolf. Is that the puzzle? Is Luis the werewolf? But why are girls disappearing? And are they actually dead? And what happened if these are other girls? And it's the beginning of a new story. And this will be the last arc, right? I mean, most likely, this is the final arc of this show. The first season, anyway, of it. I don't know if there's going to be more. Like, figuring out what this mystery is. And so far, this mystery is cool as hell. So I'm really into it. It wasn't, obviously, this was not as flashy as other stories have been in this series, but it is quite good. I'm still very interested in knowing more about this whole thing. I think that there's like a lot more going on that I definitely want to know more about when it comes to Undead Murder Farce. Like there's definitely more to explore with this. All right, so this thing on the backpack is a big weapon, and so we can tilt that big weapon up and do all that. And we're done with this kit. We're done with our stubby friend here. I'm gonna take some photos of it. And then we'll get into setting up for our next kit. We'll get into setting up for our next kit in a second here. But yeah, Undead Murder Farce has quickly become my favorite show this season. It has blown me away. It was a premise that I was like, yeah. But then enough people I know who I respect were like, oh no, this show fucking whips ass, Pat. You got to check this out. And so I did, and I'm very glad I did, because it's real good. I'm going to take 2 photos of this kit with all the weapons out and then without, so that we can get a good sense of how the arms look wild in this thing. So yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll get set up for the AUG and prepare to build that on Monday's stream. There will be a stream on Monday, even if it is a holiday here in the United States. No rest for the wicked when it comes to model kit building. I will be full of meats. I am not doing the grilling. I am going over. My parents and I are going to our neighbor's house for the holiday with some other friends, and should be nice and lovely. That'll be a good time. So yeah, we're going over there, but it's literally like 3 doors down. It's so close to the house. So even if I have to leave early, which I don't think I will, even if I leave early, I can just walk over and turn the stream on and go. I'll make sure that I'm ready during the day. But yeah, I'm going to take a photo of this like this. It's going to be that'll be Monday. We'll talk about some manga and some anime and all that other stuff. Now I want to hear from you, friends. For the end of the stream here, what are you watching? What are you playing? What are you super into right now? What's got you going? Any games that you're into? And then while you take the time to write those things down, I will say that for me, for your friend Pat, I have been playing, obviously, Hearthstone. You know me. Always playing more Hearthstone. I'm also been playing Goodbye Volcano High, which is goddamn fucking lovely, y'all. It's tough. It can be a tough game. Because it is like there is a lot of storytelling elements that are dramatic and sometimes sad, but it is lovely. It is currently on sale. It's 10% off. If it is I believe, with it being 10% off, it is $27. And for some people, that is too much money for an indie game. And I understand you. I hear you. But I am I have been interested in this game since it got announced. I have been very pleased with my time with the game so far because it is hitting everything on all cylinders and really, really just hitting me where I want. Like, it's hitting me right in the feels. I'm savoring it. I'm taking my time with it. But yeah, I'm really loving Goodbye Volcano High. I am just looking. I'm looking right now at my wish list here on Steam to see what I'll be picking up in the future. I am hoping that I'm hoping someday Fight Forever will go on sale and I'll get it. I kind of want to play the new mode, but I don't want to spend $60 on a game that doesn't seem particularly great or have a long tail. So it's someday they'll fucking put that game on sale, and when they do, I'll get it. But they haven't yet, so I have not. But I'm playing a new. There's a new mode in Hearthstone that I am working on getting a deck together for called Twist, which is like not quite wild, but not quite standard, and it's like different eras, and I'm like excited about that. So I'm going to be trying that out. I don't know if I'm going to be diving too far into it. Also, this kit. I've had this kit for a while because as I pulled stuff out there's dust in this box, which tells me how long I've had this kit for. This is a 2015 model kit, which we're getting together here. The Gundam MK2, the AEUG, so the MK2 AUG. We're going to call that the MK2 AUG. We're working on that. But yeah, this kit, Polycaps is the year 2015. No English instructions. No English instructions at all, which is fine. It's frustrating, but it's fine. We're starting with the chest instead of the head, which also dates when this kit came out. There are only, and like, ooh, look at that. One cool, clear colored piece. One E piece. Decent enough beam sabers, and then polycaps from 2000. Oh, this is a reissue. Nice. This is a 2015 kit, but this is not plastic for 2015. This is a reissue that came out in 2022 because the polycaps are dated 2022, which is nice. So this is a reissue of this kit. So even though the instructions for 2015, the plastic is probably not for 2015, even though that is the era that this kit was designed. So that's nice. It's not always clear to find out when you're getting a reprint. That sweet 2022 plastic, indeed. All right, so as I kind of get started on this kit, because we'll get a little bit of this kit done. I'm not even going to say that we started it, but I'll get a little bit of it done. While I do that, I'm going to check out what you have to say here. Here you go. Okay, hey, y'all are playing some fucking video games. Thank you for telling me. Unjon said, finished all missions on Armored Core 6. Hell yeah. Reigned also beat Armored Core 6 last night and already started a new game. Hell yeah. Bald Ridge heard great things about, talk about Goodbye Volcano High. Yeah, I'm really loving it. New Game Plus Plus is wild, says Unjon about Armored Core 6. Aristfan says Starfield, pretty good. I'll be playing Starfield next week because I am going to play it on Game Pass. And I am not going to pay to play it on Game Pass early. So I'll be playing it just on Game Pass when it comes to Game Pass next week. That is the plan. And then I will be sure to tell you about it. Starfield, pretty good. Speaking of living things, I finally got around to playing A Short Hike. Loved it. Lovely things, Balgrid says. Loved it so much. I played through it at Discord for people and played through on Steam stream. So charming. Yeah, A Short Hike is lovely. I ended up watching. I didn't play it myself, but I watched a Let's Play that a friend of mine was doing, and I caught a couple of them live, and then most of them I just watched the archive of. But that was really, It's a really charming game. There's a lot to love about that. I totally feel you. Rain says, no. So Bald Ridge, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Lord Crashing says, I'm liking One Piece so far. They found a good actor for Kuro, the butler pirate. Yeah, so we've got the live action Netflix One Piece. If you weren't here on Thursday, I do not have Netflix right now. I have no plans to watch it. I'm glad that people are enjoying it. Those are my thoughts on the live action One Piece. I don't have any interest in getting Netflix right now. I have not seen it. Someday I will. Those are general thoughts from your friend Pat. The new game and New Game Plus are kind of mandatory because there's a lot of big changes to Armored Core. Hell yeah. Baldridge says, I liked it, but I never watched the anime or read the manga, so I can't compare. Rain says, in real life, I've been getting back to my fencing classes after COVID. I miss hitting people with swords. Yeah, man, totally. Yeah. No, I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad you're able to do physical things after COVID. That's very nice to hear. Sorry about the COVID, of course. Should also say that. Very sorry to hear. Let's see. Goodbye Volcano High has been very fun so far. Trophies are buggy, so I don't know how far I'm into the game at the moment. Yeah, I don't pay attention to trophies that often, or achievements, I should say. I just don't really pay attention to them. So, but I have heard that they're buggy. That's sweet 2022 plastic. Lord crashed in with a spoiler that the Jan deed was done. If you don't have any context for that, it's okay. You don't need to have any. You don't need to know everything. It's okay. If you do have context for that, enjoy. Or watch the panel archive or whatever. I finished up Netflix One Piece yesterday and still like it a lot. Ended up rewatching Film Red today. John says free is as good as $100. I'm assuming that is a Starfield reference, in which case I am paying. Well, first off, I should say, Starfield is not free. I'm not going to be playing Starfield for free. I'm paying Starfield for the money I spend on Game Pass, right? I spend money on Game Pass, and because I spend money on Game Pass, I'm getting Starfield. I'm excited to play Starfield. Seeing the accessibility news for Starfield is a bummer. I have seen some of that as well. I have not started. I need to. I have not started to investigate if people will figure out a way to get mods working on Game Pass. They've been able to do it before. They'll do it again when Nexus figures out mods for the Game Pass version of Starfield. I'm going to be going wild with them. I haven't started looking yet because I didn't want to invest in mods that are going to be changing and updating consistently, and the way to do it and all that. That'll come. That is a down the road situation when I can actually play the game. Then I will learn more about the mod scene and what cool weird things people are doing there. I'm excited for it. I think Starfield is a great Game Pass game. Yeah. I'm excited about it. Hi, Aristofan, as well. Dirty says, playing Starfield, thinking about adding a big bag of Halloween candy. Doubled my grocery bill for the week. Okay. I'll watch the VOD of the panel later on. Hell yeah. The Jan evidence is spreading on Twitter right now. Okay. And just as true, but the Game Pass money is amortized across everything you play. Yes. There are months where Game Pass is not a good deal because there are not things I want to play on Game Pass. And occasionally I download things because I'm like, well, I guess I could play this on Game Pass. I guess I should play this on Game Pass because I have Game Pass. And then there are months like this month where I'm like, hell yeah. That is a full price game that I'm going to be playing on quote unquote day one. Because obviously day one is arguable because I'm not going to pay extra to play it early. But I'm going to be playing it, and everybody else is going to get to do some bug work for me, and then mod feedback and all that. I got to look through and talk about some mods and stuff like that, and how people are making it work, and if it's only working on the Steam version or any of that stuff, and we'll figure that stuff out. But right now, I am excited to find out what's going on with all that nonsense. We don't have a lot of time left here on stream. We're going to be wrapping up soon. I do want to just quickly say, I tweeted about this and I put it on my Blue Sky, but I want to say here right now, we had a lot of talk about wrestling, so we didn't talk about this, but I do just want to say that there is not a strike with voice actors from the SAG-AFTRA union. There is not a strike right now. There is the authorization to vote on a strike ahead of negotiations at the end of September. The SAG-AFTRA union wants to walk in to negotiations with only 10 companies, 7 of whom are actual game publishers and developers in some instances, both, and 3 of which are houses that do go-betweens, that like sometimes studios just hire or publishers just hire some go-between studios to handle all the voice acting, and also those studios sign all the contracts and make all the contracts. So it's just like, hey, we need X amount of voice actors for this amount of money, distribute it, figure it out, and those companies do it. So, there is not a strike. There is the authorization by the board to put it to a vote. So the union members can put it to a vote, the voice actors, if they choose to, and then they can go into negotiations with the understanding that if negotiations break down and are not being done in good faith, then a strike could happen. And again, that is different from a strike. These studios are the biggest studio on this list in conversation is probably Activision and Disney. Disney Character Voices, which is the Disney subsidiary that handles all their voiceover work. But you also have like Insomniac and Take-Two and 3, as I said, like 3 voiceover companies and that do casting, Epic Games. And this is because most game studios do not work union. So if you are a streamer and you are not trying to be a scab and you're worried, it's like, yeah, if there is a strike, there will be clear instructions for union members and people who would like to be sympathetic to that, or people who are in or who are hoping to be in the union. But most work is not. Playing any video game that is not part of the strike does not, if it happens, does not make you a scab. But if you really wanted to be clear, then play old games and not play new releases. Yada yada yada. But anyway, there is not a strike. There could be. We will know at the end of September when bargaining resumes. And one of the big points that the reason why the strike is possible is specifically because whereas AI in the instances of writing and acting is in many cases a pipe dream, with the exception of perhaps background acting for composite shots, it is not a pipe dream when it comes to video games. Recording people's licenses or likenesses and audio and capture. The idea that the voice actors in Starfield, that Starfield could employ, that Bethesda could employ AI to create new voice lines based on previous lines and then not pay people for that work is a reality. That is a reality, a going forward. That is a going concern. So people are worried about that. So Lord Crashington, yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about when I say sympathy strikes. Like if you're a podcaster, and you want to support the union, and you're a podcaster that talks about movies, don't talk about current movies, is the direction from SAG-AFTRA. It is not that cancel your Netflix. Consumers can consume and should consume. It's the whole thing. But what I'm saying is the people I see freaking out are people who stream video games for part of their living or who would like to make streaming video games part of their living. And them being worried, well, can I play a Activision game next year? Can I play an Insomniac game next year? Can I play or next month? Next month, can I play an Insomniac game? Is that cool? Because they would be on strike with Insomniac. And the answer to that is, you can play it. If you stream it out, that's scab work. A new game. If you stream out an old game by Insomniac, that's less scab work. It's less of a problem. So that's the point I was making there. Not that, hey, these people are on strike. Don't buy video games from Electronic Arts because of the strike. You're a scab if you buy that game. That's not what I was saying. That's not what they would be saying. That is in line with people who are like, well, can I stream the next Take-Two produced game? And the answer would be, don't. If you want to be in the union, because that is struck work. If you want to hear about the new Disney game. In the same way of promoting those things and all that. That's all I was saying there. We'll talk more about union stuff. If Hogwarts and Overwatch tell me anything, streamers don't care about that. John, Hogwarts and Overwatch, that's a very different. I can't. That's a different topic, John. That's political and social and responsibility. If people want to be in a union, they can't play those video games because then they won't be in that union. It's money. That's a different problem. What you mentioned is it would be nice if people could be fucking cool and supportive. That's different from, hey, if you want to fucking make money and you want to be in a union someday because you're a voice actor that streams, don't play games that if they go to a strike. That's a different issue than, hey, it would be cool if you didn't play fucking Hogwarts and you weren't a scumbag. Those are different problems. We don't have time. And again, Lord Crashington, I was not saying that, and that's why I tweeted specifically what's going on, because you don't have to worry about that stuff, but also no one's telling you need to support movies or video games ever. There are a million reasons not to play video games or watch movies. There are a million reasons. Like, I'm probably not going to play any struck work games because I don't want to. But no one's telling me I have to do that. But I don't want to. But yeah, we got to go raid. I got to wrap up. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. We are going to go on a raid because that is how we end every stream. We're going to find some people doing cool shit and go spend some time with them. And I'm going to go now figure out who that's going to be. I should not have brought this up at all because you had thoughts, and I appreciate y'all have thoughts, but I should not have brought it up. That was my fault because I should have known this would have taken more than a minute to talk about, or a couple minutes to talk about. But we always end with a raid, indeed. But there'll be future conversations because people will be freaking out about this all month, deciding if they can or cannot promote a video game from any of those companies, and if that is morally or ethically wrong. I have no idea how long Loading Ready Run is going to continue to stream, but they are watching old sketches, and that is fun. So we are going to go watch some old sketches because Loading Ready Run has existed for 20 years, and that's wild. And also, Loading Ready Run never streams while I am streaming. So we never get to raid them. So we're going to go raid Loading Ready Run. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you on the next one. Come along on this raid. On Monday, we're really going to get into the AUG. We're going to put a bunch of stickers on a chest and in the head and really get into this kit and talk about this kit, and it'll be fun. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Let's go watch some comedy sketches. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.